Have you ever given it much thought as to if you want to move in with your significant other before actually getting married? I have heard stories of people saying that they get married first before they actually move in because they think that they are in a happy relationship, but in reality, they don't really know what they're getting themselves into because they don't know what their living habits are, if they're the same or they're completely different. I also heard stories of people telling me that they never want to get married because they feel that it is a very strong commitment. But I feel like your decision can come from knowing your partner in a completely different manner by starting to live with them. It probably will take some time to get used to it, but if one really wants to try to take the next step in their relationship, then I would tell them to start out by moving in together so it can give you more of an insight of what it actually is to live with your partner and how the rest of your life is going to be like in the rest of your marriage. If you live with your partner before getting married, as I said, you'll get to know them better. You will be able to know if you actually feel comfortable with living with them as you think you do. And you will also be able to put some ground rules that can actually help you so that your marriage can work out. Getting to know your partner before actually start dating them and marrying them is actually very important. And believe it or not, there's a lot of people that actually don't know the person and then start dating them. When people start dating, they believe that the first person is the one and they want to have a future with them. But according to the article Her, researchers found that she will also suffer 4 disastrous dates and be stood up once before she actually finds the one she's happy to stick with. A person just never knows when they will find the right person in their life to which they want to spend the rest of their lives with. As soon as you find the one, there are many reasons why you should start living together before you actually get married and take the next step. And one of those reasons is that you'll get to know them better than you already know, or more than you think you know them. Getting to know someone without actually living with them could be really different from actually knowing them, what they're actually like. You may think you know the person when in reality you actually don't. Living together can make you realize what they're actually like. You will want to know if their living habits are like yours. According to the article Brides, Kramer states, doing so before you tie the knot will give you more time to problem solve and collaborate to find a fair balance. In other words, what Kramer is saying is that you can actually have a healthier relationship with your significant other. And a happier and healthier relationship means a long-lasting, happy relationship. You also want to know how they sleep, how they eat, if they're clean, or even if they're messy. These are all these things that can actually lead a marriage into divorce, which is really bad, and you don't want that. Before getting married, another big thing about living together before marriage is that you want to make sure that you are comfortable with your partner. When I say comfortable, what I'm basically saying is that if you actually want to live with them. Living with your partner will give you more of an insight of what marriage would look like. What it's like at the moment living with them will be the same as what it's going to be for the rest of your lives when married. Also, you have to think about getting married doesn't mean that they aren't going to fight anymore. Sometimes getting married is going to bring more problems because you're literally stuck with this person for the rest of your life. According to Broder from WebMD, he states that a 2005 study showed that staying in an unsatisfied marriage may raise stress and worsen health. They want to think if the relationship is healthy before actually getting married. If you are already having problems in your relationship, then you should try to fix it out and hope for the best. A person should think about their own health before anything else. Stress is a really big thing when it comes to marriage. It can come from money problems, unhealthy relationships, children, etc. As everyone knows, stress can actually lead to more serious problems. You also want to see if they are willing to work things out when it comes to other things. And the only way you will be able to know that is to overcome these obstacles, which is by starting to live together. Another reason why it is better to live with your significant other before you actually get married is because you will be able to put some ground rules and hope that everything will work out. This is actually very important when it comes to living together because you want something one way and sometimes both of you will not agree on something and then you'll end up fighting and then you won't be able to work things out. But in reality, you will want to work things out. But if the other person doesn't want to cooperate, then you wouldn't want to take the next step. And that's when you would know that this isn't the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. A good example of setting ground rules could be where the laundry goes, to not leave certain stuff on the floor, who's gonna wash the dishes, whose turn it is to wash the clothes, who's gonna feed the pets, to make sure to clean after themselves. Just little things like that are actually very important when it comes to marriage. Believe it or not, some of these things can actually cause a lot of people to get divorced, because if you don't set ground rules, then it actually becomes a habit. According to the article Growing Marriage, the author states it can protect your relationship, your communication, and overall marriage from negatives that can easily creep up and destroy your marriage. So just remember that setting ground rules is a very important step in marriage. In conclusion, today I have talked about why one should live together before actually making the next move and getting married. I talked about how you will get to know them better, to see if you actually feel comfortable with living with them, and also talked about how you should set ground rules so that everything turns out okay and everything works out. To me, marriage is very important in as a next step in a relationship, as well as I find moving in together before actually getting married. Thank you.